In the quiet province of Amori, Japan, there exists a farmer whose life story defies conventional explanation. Kimura, an unassuming apple farmer, claims not only regular contact with extraterrestrial beings, but also their invitation aboard their spacecraft. Even more astonishing is the fruit of his labor, apples that seemingly defy natural decay. The year 2006 marked a turning point when Japan's NHK television network aired a program that would captivate the nation. The host, visibly amazed, revealed to viewers that a farmer in Amori Prefecture had accomplished what agricultural scientists deemed impossible: cultivating perfect apples without any pesticides whatsoever. This apple, announced the presenter while displaying a photograph, has been sitting untouched for 4 months. The contrast was striking. While ordinary apples would have deteriorated into a shriveled, moldy state, Kimura's fruit remained pristine, as if freshly harvested. Reports even suggested that these remarkable apples maintained their freshness for 6 months, still emanating a subtle, sweet fragrance. This phenomenon has baffled scientists, continued the host. How can apples grown without chemicals preserve their freshness in such an extraordinary manner? Some experts suggest these apples violate the very laws of nature as we understand them. The broadcast created an unprecedented sensation. Within days, NHK received over 700 letters requesting a rebroadcast, setting a record for viewer response. People called the station expressing their desperate desire to taste Kimura's apples, even if just once in their lifetime. The public christened them Miraculous apples. This name stemmed not only from the scientifically inexplicable preservation qualities, but also from the extraordinary circumstances surrounding their cultivation. Throughout his journey to create these apples, Kimura reportedly experienced numerous supernatural phenomena that defy rational explanation. How did Kimura develop these remarkable apples? What led to his alleged encounters with extraterrestrials? And perhaps most intriguingly, why do many Japanese citizens now monitor Kimura's activities, believing he holds crucial information about a potential global catastrophe predicted for 2025? Today, we delve into the extraordinary story behind Kimura's miraculous apples, a tale that weaves together agricultural innovation, extraterrestrial encounters, and apocalyptic prophecies in ways that challenge our understanding of reality itself. If this exploration of the unexplained intrigues you, consider following this series as we unravel more mysteries that exist at the boundaries of conventional knowledge. The story of Kimura's apples is just the beginning of a journey into realms where science meets the inexplicable. Modern agriculture underwent a revolutionary transformation beginning in 1840, when German scientist Justus von Liebig investigated how plants absorb nutrients. His groundbreaking discovery of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium's crucial role in plant development laid the foundation for chemical fertilizers and modern farming practices. Nearly a century later, in 1939, Swiss chemist Paul Hermann Müller received the Nobel Prize for discovering DDT's insecticidal properties, making it the most widely adopted pesticide of its era. Though DDT was eventually banned due to its devastating environmental impact, humanity's dependence on pesticides remained unshaken. New chemical formulations quickly replaced it, and the agricultural industry embraced an unprecedented era of chemically enhanced growth and pest control. Farmers worldwide followed this model, believing it was the only path to prosperity. Against this backdrop of chemical dependency, one farmer chose a radically different path. Born Mikami Akinori in 1949, he became Kimura Akinori after marrying Kimura Michiko, the eldest daughter of the Kimura family. By joining this traditional farming household, he inherited their extensive apple orchards in Amori Prefecture and began his life as a farmer. During this period of rapid agricultural advancement, success seemed straightforward: work diligently, follow local government guidelines, apply pesticides at the recommended times, and financial prosperity would follow. Yet Kimura faced a personal dilemma that would alter his entire approach to farming. "My wife suffered severe allergic reactions to pesticides," Kimura explained in later interviews. After each application, and apple trees typically require 13 pesticide treatments annually, she would be bedridden for an entire week. Watching his wife's suffering ignited a revolutionary question in Kimura's mind: is it possible to grow apples without pesticides? This idealistic notion confronted harsh reality. Modern agricultural wisdom insisted that fruit cultivation, particularly apples, required chemical intervention. Without pesticides, conventional experts warned, quality fruit production was virtually impossible. The necessity of pesticides had become agricultural gospel. Without them, Many believed mass starvation would follow as crops succumbed to insects, weeds, fungi, bacteria, and rodents. This widely accepted truth was challenged when Kimura visited a bookstore one fateful day. Reaching for a book on a high shelf, he accidentally knocked down another volume. Embarrassed by the damage, he purchased both books. This unintended acquisition, Masanobu Fukuoka's The One Straw Revolution, would transform his life. Fukuoka's revolutionary text advocated for natural farming without pesticides or fertilizers. The author argued that nature's systems function perfectly without human intervention, and plants naturally thrive within these balanced ecosystems. Most remarkably, Fukuoka had successfully grown rice and mandarins without chemical assistance. This revelation stunned Kimura. If Fukuoka succeeded with rice and citrus, he reasoned, could the same principles apply to apples? With his family's support, Kimura was about to embark on an extraordinary journey that would challenge agricultural orthodoxy and eventually connect him to phenomena far beyond conventional understanding. If you're fascinated by alternative approaches to working with nature rather than against it, this story offers profound insights into sustainable living practices that might shape our future. Let's continue exploring Kimura's remarkable journey in the next section. In 1978, driven by determination and his wife's suffering, Kimura designated one of his 4 apple orchards as a testing ground for pesticide-free cultivation. Initially, progress seemed promising. The trees flowered normally without chemical intervention, filling Kimura with hope. Blossoming represented the crucial first step toward fruit production, and seeing the white flowers adorn his trees brought immense joy. This optimism proved short-lived. Just 1 month later, alarming signs emerged. Kimura noticed yellowing leaves spreading rapidly throughout his orchard. He quickly identified the culprit: apple leaf spot disease, a fungal infection common in untreated orchards. Though unsurprised by this development, Kimura hadn't anticipated the severity of what followed. Within weeks, every leaf in the orchard had turned yellow. By August, half the foliage had dropped completely. Compared to neighboring orchards with their lush green canopies, Kimura's experimental plot resembled a barren wasteland. Witnessing this stark contrast, he gained newfound respect for pesticides' effectiveness, while simultaneously strengthening his resolve to find an alternative path. This failure didn't discourage me, Kimura later explained. It awakened my fighting spirit. I became determined to restore life to my orchard without chemicals. His first priority became protecting the remaining leaves, the critical energy factories for the trees. Kimura reasoned that finding effective natural fungicides could make pesticide-free apple cultivation viable. This launched a period of what locals called mad experimentation. In his orchard, Kimura tried spraying trees with chili pepper solutions, garlic water, and wasabi extracts to inhibit fungal growth. In his most desperate moments, he applied soy sauce, black pepper, and even soju rice wine to his struggling trees. Virtually anything with potential antimicrobial properties found its way into his experimental sprays, yet nothing produced significant improvement. Recognizing that apple trees bear fruit only once annually, Kimura calculated that testing one orchard would yield just 10 experimental iterations over a decade, too slow for meaningful progress. In a bold move that shocked his community, he committed all 4 orchards to his pesticide-free experiment, essentially gambling his entire livelihood on this unproven approach. "He's gone completely mad," villagers whispered. "Who throws away guaranteed income for such foolishness?" During an interview years later, Kimura confessed he couldn't fully explain his persistence. "Something inside me kept insisting, apple trees don't need pesticides." The situation deteriorated further. By the 3rd spring, harmful insects swarmed the orchards. By the 4th year, the trees remained fruitless while the family's savings disappeared. His 3 daughters wore repeatedly patched clothing as new garments became unaffordable. To keep his children in school, Kimura began borrowing money from increasingly reluctant lenders. Concerned neighbors urged him to abandon the experiment, but Kimura's stubborn determination only intensified. This unwavering persistence earned him cruel nicknames among once supportive community members. To avoid their judgmental stares, Kimura adopted an unusual schedule, arriving at his orchards before dawn and returning home only after other farmers had departed for the day. For those interested in sustainable agricultural approaches and the challenges of pioneering new methods, Kimura's story offers valuable lessons in persistence against overwhelming odds. His journey demonstrates how conventional wisdom, though widely accepted, sometimes requires brave individuals willing to endure ridicule and hardship to discover transformative alternatives. Modern agriculture underwent a revolutionary transformation beginning in 1840, when German scientist Justus von Liebig investigated how plants absorb nutrients. His groundbreaking discovery of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium's crucial role in plant development laid the foundation for chemical fertilizers and modern farming practices. Nearly a century later, in 1939, Swiss chemist Paul Hermann Müller received the Nobel Prize for discovering DDT's insecticidal properties, making it the most widely adopted pesticide of its era. Though DDT was eventually banned due to its devastating environmental impact, humanity's dependence on pesticides remained unshaken. New chemical formulations quickly replaced it, and the agricultural industry embraced an unprecedented era of chemically enhanced growth and pest control. Farmers worldwide followed this model, believing it was the only path to prosperity. Against this backdrop of chemical dependency, one farmer chose a radically different path. Born Mikami Akinori in 1949, he became Kimura Akinori after marrying Kimura Michiko, the eldest daughter of the Kimura family. By joining this traditional farming household, he inherited their extensive apple orchards in Amori prefecture and began his life as a farmer. During this period of rapid agricultural advancement, success seemed straightforward: work diligently, follow local government guidelines, apply pesticides at the recommended times, and financial prosperity would follow. Yet Kimura faced a personal dilemma that would alter his entire approach to farming. "My wife suffered severe allergic reactions to pesticides," Kimura explained in later interviews. After each application, and apple trees typically require 13 pesticide treatments annually, she would be bedridden for an entire week. Watching his wife's suffering ignited a revolutionary question in Kimura's mind. Is it possible to grow apples without pesticides? This idealistic notion confronted harsh reality. Modern agricultural wisdom insisted that fruit cultivation, particularly apples, required chemical intervention. Without pesticides, conventional experts warned, quality fruit production was virtually impossible. The necessity of pesticides had become agricultural gospel. Without them, many believed mass starvation would follow as crops succumbed to insects, weeds, fungi, bacteria, and rodents. This widely accepted truth was challenged when Kimura visited a bookstore one fateful day. Reaching for a book on a high shelf, he accidentally knocked down another volume. Embarrassed by the damage, he purchased both books. This unintended acquisition, Masanobu Fukuoka's The One Straw Revolution, would transform his life. Fukuoka's revolutionary text advocated for natural farming without pesticides or fertilizers. The author argued that nature's systems function perfectly without human intervention, and plants naturally thrive within these balanced ecosystems. Most remarkably, Fukuoka had successfully grown rice and mandarins without chemical assistance. This revelation stunned Kimura. If Fukuoka succeeded with rice and citrus, he reasoned, could the same principles apply to apples? With his family's support, Kimura was about to embark on an extraordinary journey that would challenge agricultural orthodoxy and eventually connect him to phenomena far beyond conventional understanding. If you're fascinated by alternative approaches to working with nature rather than against it, this story offers profound insights into sustainable living practices that might shape our future. Let's continue exploring Kimura's remarkable journey in the next section. As the seasons turned, Kimura faced yet another setback. By the sixth spring of his pesticide-free experiment, his apple trees remained barren, and the situation had grown increasingly dire. Some trees struggled to stay upright, swaying precariously in the wind, as if they were on the verge of collapse. The weight of despair settled heavily on Kimura's shoulders, as he reflected on the years of struggle and sacrifice endured by his family. In a moment of profound vulnerability, Kimura found himself drawn to the trees. Approaching them, he expressed heartfelt apologies for the suffering they had experienced under his care. He spent countless days speaking to the trees, offering words of encouragement, hoping they would rally against the odds. However, he refrained from speaking to the row of trees bordering his neighbor's property, fearing he might be judged for his unconventional behavior. The culmination of Kimura's trials came on the evening of July 31, 1985, when he felt utterly defeated. Overwhelmed, he took a rope and ventured into the depths of the mountains, contemplating ending his life in despair. However, fate intervened when he stumbled upon a remarkable sight, a vibrant tree flourishing in the wilderness, seemingly untouched by pesticides or human interference. This tree, with its lush green foliage, sparked a flicker of hope within him. How can this tree thrive in nature without chemicals? Kimura pondered. The answer was clear. Nature itself was capable of sustaining life without human intervention. This realization ignited a new understanding in Kimura's mind. He recognized that by eliminating natural enemies through pesticide use, he had inadvertently weakened his apple trees. Instead of creating a resilient ecosystem, he had cultivated a dependency on chemical treatments. In that moment of clarity, Kimura recalled how trees in the wild flourished without any assistance from humans. He gathered soil from around the tree, which emitted a pungent odor reminiscent of earthiness. This scent led him to suspect the presence of beneficial microorganisms, specifically actinobacteria, which could convert atmospheric nitrogen into nutrients for plants, a critical element for healthy growth. With renewed determination, Kimura rushed home, eager to implement his newfound knowledge. The following day, he purchased low-quality soybeans, intending to spread them throughout his orchards. As the soybean plants sprouted, their roots would establish symbiotic relationships with the nitrogen, fixing bacteria, ultimately enriching the soil. Months passed, and Kimura returned to his orchards, where he was met with an astonishing transformation. The once lifeless landscape had transformed into a vibrant ecosystem teeming with life. Insects buzzed, frogs leaped, and wild rabbits scurried through the underbrush. The apple trees, which had been on the brink of death, began to show signs of revival. Then, one fateful morning in 1986, as Kimura worked in his orchard, a fragrant aroma wafted through the air. His neighbor, working in his own orchard, looked up in disbelief. The moment had arrived. Kimura's trees were finally in full bloom, adorned with delicate white blossoms. Overwhelmed with emotion, Kimura and his wife rushed to witness the miraculous sight, a culmination of years of perseverance. Reflecting on this journey, Kimura emphasized, "People believe that my efforts were the reason the trees bloomed, but it wasn't my determination that made it happen. It was the trees themselves. I once thought I was solely responsible for their care, but I realized my role was simply to cooperate with nature." Kimura's story is not just a tale of agricultural triumph. It also serves as a metaphor for our relationship with the natural world. By recognizing our interconnectedness with nature, we can cultivate a more sustainable future. As we delve deeper into Kimura's experiences, let us explore the broader implications of his journey and the profound lessons it holds for humanity. As Kimura's miraculous apple trees began to flourish, the story of his unconventional farming methods attracted widespread attention across Japan. His journey and the extraordinary transformation of his orchards resonated deeply with those seeking alternatives to conventional agriculture. Kimura became a symbol of hope, embodying the possibility of harmonizing human practices with the rhythms of nature. Yet, the implications of his experiences extended far beyond personal success and agricultural innovation. With his trees in full bloom, Kimura's triumph had a profound effect on the local community. Farmers who had once ridiculed his efforts began to question their own reliance on chemical pesticides and fertilizers. Kimura's success sparked conversations about organic farming and sustainable agricultural practices, prompting neighbors to reconsider their approaches to cultivation. People began to visit his orchard, eager to learn about his methods and the philosophy that guided him. However, the transformation of Kimura's orchards was not merely a local phenomenon. It resonated on a larger scale, inviting speculation about the future of agriculture itself. Could Kimura's methods represent a viable path towards sustainable farming practices that respect the environment? As the agricultural community grappled with the challenges posed by climate change and environmental degradation, Kimura's story emerged as a beacon of hope. Yet, beneath the surface of this inspiring narrative lay a deeper, more troubling prophecy. During his otherworldly encounters, the extraterrestrial beings had communicated a dire warning about the future of humanity. Kimura recalled the chilling details of a prophecy he had witnessed while aboard the spacecraft, a vision of catastrophic events poised to unfold in 2025. The beings had shown him images of a green star approaching Earth, followed by a series of disasters: fierce storms, widespread famine, and devastating earthquakes. This prophecy weighed heavily on Kimura's mind. The urgency of the message became increasingly apparent as discussions about sustainability and environmental stewardship intensified. Many began to speculate that Kimura's agricultural practices might hold the key to mitigating the looming catastrophe. By embracing natural methods of cultivation, humanity could potentially avert the disasters foretold by the extraterrestrial visitors. Moreover, Kimura's connection to the prophecy resonated with existing cultural narratives, particularly those surrounding apocalyptic predictions. In Japan, various interpretations of prophecy often draw from folklore and history, creating a rich tapestry of beliefs about the future. One such narrative emerged from the popular manga, The Future I See, which accurately predicted the devastating earthquake of March 11, 2011. This cultural context heightened the significance of Kimura's experiences and heightened public interest in his story. As years passed, more individuals began to pay attention to Kimura's warnings. The convergence of scientific inquiry, cultural beliefs, and prophetic visions ignited conversations about humanity's responsibility to protect the planet. Could the transformation of Kimura's orchards serve as a model for a more sustainable future? Would adopting his methods lead to a collective awakening that could change the course of history? Kimura's journey illustrates that the consequences of our actions extend beyond the immediate realm. Each choice made in the fields resonates through the ecosystem, shaping the future of our planet. As we contemplate the implications of his story, it serves as a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all life and the need to cultivate a harmonious relationship with nature. In the next section, we will delve deeper into the prophetic dimensions of Kimura's experiences, exploring how they intertwine with broader existential questions about humanity's future and our place within the universe. The mysteries surrounding his journey encourage us to reflect on how we can learn from the past to forge a more sustainable and compassionate future. As Kimura's story reached its climax, it became evident that his journey was not just about cultivating extraordinary apples. It was also a profound exploration of humanity's relationship with nature and the cosmos. The miraculous transformation of his orchards and the chilling extraterrestrial prophecy he encountered intertwined to create a narrative that challenges our perceptions of reality and our place in the universe. Kimura's experiences serve as a compelling metaphor for the potential of human resilience and adaptability. His commitment to nurturing his apple trees without chemicals reflects a broader quest for balance in our interactions with the environment. In a world increasingly dominated by industrial agriculture and chemical dependency, Kimura's methods remind us of the importance of reconnecting with nature and understanding the ecosystems that sustain us. The prophecy of 2025 looms as a stark reminder of the consequences of neglecting our planet. The images of impending calamities, fierce storms, famine, and earthquakes serve as climate change continues to escalate and environmental crises become more frequent. Kimura's message resonates with urgency. The question emerges: can humanity heed this warning and embrace sustainable practices before it is too late? Moreover, the cultural significance of Kimura's story cannot be overlooked. In Japan, the blending of folklore, prophecy, and modern science creates a unique narrative landscape that shapes public consciousness. The parallels between Kimura's experiences and historical prophecies, such as those found in The Future I See, highlight the timeless human fascination with foretelling the future. This intersection of belief and reality invites us to consider how our understanding of the world is shaped by both empirical evidence and cultural narratives. As we reflect on Kimura's journey, it becomes clear that his story is not merely about one man's struggle against adversity. It is a broader commentary on the choices we face as a species. Will we continue on a path of environmental degradation, or will we embrace sustainable practices that honor our connection with the earth? Kimura's experiences encourage us to question the status quo and explore alternative ways of living that promote ecological harmony. In concluding this exploration, it is essential to recognize the value of independent thought. Kimura's narrative invites us to engage in critical reflection about our relationship with nature and the future of our planet. It challenges us to consider the implications of our actions and the paths we choose moving forward. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, let us draw inspiration from Kimura's remarkable journey. By fostering a deeper understanding of our interconnectedness with the natural world, we can cultivate a more sustainable future. The story of Kimura and his miraculous apples is not an isolated phenomenon. It is a testament to the power of perseverance, creativity, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. As we conclude this journey, we encourage readers to remain curious, ask questions, and explore the mysteries that surround us. The future is not set in stone, it is shaped by our choices and actions. Let us strive to create a world that honors both nature and humanity, fostering a legacy of sustainability and respect for all living beings. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of Kimura's extraordinary story. If you found this narrative engaging, we invite you to continue your journey of discovery by exploring more topics that challenge and inspire.